Hagrid, the beloved keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts, has always been a mysterious figure, a gentle giant with a heart full of loyalty and courage. But could this towering half-giant, who defied authority and cared so deeply for magical creatures, have been a Slytherin in his youth? It's a question that might surprise many, but the more we examine his character, the more the possibility seems to make sense. Hagrid's time at Hogwarts is filled with intriguing details that might suggest he was more closely connected to Slytherin House than we might think. Let's start by examining the classic qualities of the four houses and whether Hagrid's characteristics align with them. First, there's Ravenclaw. Hagrid may not strike one as an academic, but there's no denying his knowledge about magical creatures. He's the one who introduces Harry to the concept of a hippogriff, a blast-ended scroot, and the fire-breathing dragon Norbert. His ability to care for and even tame creatures that others fear or misunderstand shows a depth of intellect and resourcefulness that's typical of a Ravenclaw. But even with his vast knowledge, Hagrid's actions are more driven by his passion than a scholarly pursuit. It's a love for creatures, not a quest for knowledge's sake. Thus, Ravenclaw doesn't seem like the right fit for him.
Then there's Hufflepuff. It's hard to ignore Hagrid's qualities of loyalty, hard work, and kindness. As the steadfast companion to Harry, Ron, and Hermione, Hagrid epitomizes the values of Hufflepuff. He's always there when needed, whether it's comforting a scared Hermione or protecting his students from the dangerous creatures of the Forbidden Forest. He works tirelessly, carrying out laborious tasks, from building a hut to tending to magical creatures, all while showing immense dedication. And yet, when he speaks about Hufflepuff, he reveals a more complex view. They say Hufflepuff's the house for the thickest students, Hagrid tells Harry, but there's a hint of disagreement in his tone, suggesting he might not fully accept the stereotype. This ambiguous attitude toward the house makes Hufflepuff a questionable fit for Hagrid.
Now let's consider Gryffindor, where Hagrid officially belongs. His courage is beyond question. He's the one who marches into the Giants' village to negotiate for an alliance during the Second Wizarding War. He stands against Voldemort's regime and even breaks the rules when necessary, like when he smuggles a dragon into Hogwarts. Hagrid's bravery and loyalty to Harry and Dumbledore point to Gryffindor's values. However, despite all of his courage, a deeper look into Hagrid's past raises doubts about whether Gryffindor is truly the house that best fits him.
There's one incident from Asterisk, the Chamber of Secrets asterisk, that might suggest otherwise. In Tom Riddle's memory, the interaction between a young Riddle and Hagrid is striking. Riddle, a fifth-year student and head of Slytherin, speaks to Hagrid as though they are old acquaintances, even calling him by his first name. "Good evening, Rubeus." Riddle greets him. Hagrid responds, "What are you doing down here, Tom?" The familiarity between them is unusual. At the time, Hagrid is only a third-year student, and yet Riddle, the popular Slytherin, knows him well. Could Hagrid have been part of Slytherin House and thus known Riddle from their shared common room or other interactions?
It's an intriguing thought. Riddle, already gathering followers for his future Death Eater army, would have been keen to recruit potential allies from within his own house, especially someone as imposing as Hagrid, with his connection to giants. The fact that Hagrid, even as a half-giant, may have drawn the attention of Riddle adds weight to the theory that Hagrid might have been a Slytherin in his youth. What's more, the location of their conversation is significant. The scene takes place in the dungeon, far from Gryffindor Tower. Hagrid is in the process of visiting Aragog, the giant acromantula that he has kept hidden for years. It's curious that he manages to sneak around the school unnoticed, especially given his size. Could he have been coming from the Slytherin common room, which is also located in the dungeons? It's a plausible explanation for why no one ever catches him sneaking through the corridors despite the increased security at Hogwarts. Moreover, there's a striking similarity between Hagrid's actions and those of other Slytherins. The house is known for its loyalty to family and those they care about. Hagrid's bond with his brother Grawp mirrors this trait. Hagrid is willing to sacrifice everything to protect his brother, just as other Slytherins like Narcissa Malfoy are willing to go to great lengths to protect their loved ones, even if it means defying the Dark Lord. It's also worth noting that Hagrid's bitterness towards Slytherin House could stem from his unfair expulsion, the broken wand, and the unjust accusations that shadowed his life. His feelings of resentment toward Tom Riddle, who manipulated the situation, are understandable. Perhaps his frustration with Slytherin House is not about the house itself, but about the betrayal he experienced at the hands of its most infamous student. In the end, while we may never know for certain, the idea that Hagrid was once a Slytherin offers a fascinating perspective on his character. His loyalty, strength, and complex relationship with the other houses make him one of the most intriguing figures in the wizarding world. Hagrid may have been placed in Gryffindor, but the echoes of his past suggest that he could easily have fit into Slytherin as well.